Hello and welcome everybody, it's Rose Smith here from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thanks for joining me for this week's Pick a Card Weekly Tarot reading. Okay, do you know what number you've got? Are you going to change your number this week? Maybe? Do something different? Maybe? Okay, I'm changing mine. It's very simple. Pick a number now between 1 and 5 and I'll do a psychic tarot interpretation for you. You can have more than one number if you would like. If you have 5 numbers, then you'll have a lot to think about. Alrighty, let's go to the board now and see, where is it? I've got so many, my buttons are all moved around. Okay, here's the board. And now we're going to do card number 1. If you're new, subscribe and be alive and hit that notification bell right now. Okay, closing my eyes. What's this rocket taking off? It's making a sort of circle of steam around the rocket in a circle, so something to do with completion, finishing something off, unification. The cycle is complete, you can move on, but a new idea or a new project taking off in your mind this week if you've picked card number 1. And of course Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are also in my face, so that's just about spirituality. 2 cards just flew out then. And what did I say? Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos is about spirituality? I don't think so. I don't know what I meant. I said it, but I don't know what I meant. Okay, so the Fool, stepping out of your comfort zone, about to start something new. You will note here that there's a dog, which is like family members or friends or other people trying to hold you back in some way. Only you can decide whether, you know, these are valid criticisms or valid points of view that they're giving you. In the end, it's your decision to make. This is a major arcana, so it's pretty important. Red for action, moving forward. Green for growth and opportunity. Either way, you're going to get experience, and so that is a gift in itself. So even if the idea doesn't work out, that's okay. I remember one time we wanted to go down to Adelaide to do a psychic show in Adelaide, South Australia, and I was like 50-50 on it. Now, that's another thing I do. If I don't get at least 8 out of 10 nowadays, I don't do it. But in those days, I was like 50-50, but it nagged me for years. So in the end, I just said, let's do it. You know, then it's done, and then I can get rid of the nagging. Okay, so we did it. It was terrible in the sense of hardly any people turned up. You know, we lost a lot of money with all the logistics of getting there and getting psychics in to do the show and stuff like that. So even though I wasn't happy about that side of it, I was happy that finally the nagging in my head stopped. And so I don't even know why I had to do it. Sometimes we just don't understand why, but at least we've tried, so that's the main thing. This one here, the 2 of Swords, is about making a decision. Sometimes you can be in 2 minds about a decision. The thing to bear in mind here is that we're all influenced by our past. These are reflections from the past that, you know, sort of colour our views, and so we think just because something failed before, it might fail again. Well, we have to take care of the reasons, find out what the reasons are for that failure, you know, so that it works out this time. So just because you tried it, you just might have been ahead of your time. That's what I find. Often I do things a bit too quickly, and it, you know, I'm ahead of my time. The world's not ready for me. So a decision to be made this week. And you could be a bit hesitant or in 2 minds about it because of the past coming back. But they're your cards for number 1, okay? Have a go. Number 2, closing my eyes. What do I see? Upstairs, going upstairs, ascending in consciousness, a fair bit of effort involved. I want to say something to do with your memory too. Maybe you feel slightly overwhelmed. It's hard to remember new stuff because you've already got your head full of old stuff. In that case, you need to ditch, just let go of the old stuff. Say to upstairs, I am willing to let go of the past, to make some space in your head so you can think straight. The card that comes up is the Eight of Cups, moving on with your future, moving towards growth and development. See, it's just come off, this glint of light here has just come off the new moon. It is about new beginnings, and this often comes after you've been through a stressful time. There's some hills here. It doesn't mean it's all going to be dandy and things are going to work out perfectly fine. No, but it does mean that you're moving forward in your emotions and that you can let go of the past, okay? It's possible. Learn from it, of course, and don't forget what happened to you, but you don't have to have those really burdensome emotions that are oppressive, that you're carrying the great burden on your shoulders from the past. Number three, red roses. Red roses, true love, and even not only with other people, but even with yourself. Respect and love for yourself. That's where it all starts. Okay, let's have a look. The card that comes up is the Seven of Cups. This often indicates that there might be, it can be taken two ways. There might be some sort of conflict, and you have to be assertive and step up and say no. But it also means reaching out for spiritual growth, reaching out for success, reaching out for attainment. So again, the very act of reaching out, it's like you're doing something. And this can be in various areas of your life, not just in one area. Sometimes we get sort of blinkered and we focus on one area of life to the exclusion of everything else. I'm a shocker for doing that with work. So some people do it with relationships, some people do it with money. So there's, all sorts of ways that we can become blinkered. So just be aware, that balance is always the best policy. I'd say that, of course, because I'm a Libra and that's what we believe. Number four, card number four, closing my eyes. What's this? Ice cream. Ice cream sundae. Are you missing some sweetness in your life? You might turn to chocolates or ice creams or cakes, biscuits, things like that, because life isn't bringing you the joy that you would hope for normally. So just be aware. Sugar is actually a poison. I just had, says I confess, I just had shortbread, Walker's shortbread. Biscuits somebody gave me for Christmas. I just had 2. So there you go. But it's again about balance. So even though sugar is a poison, I'm not saying never have it, because can you sustain that? It's better to cut down and just have it occasionally. Now this is the Hangman, so this is pretty important, a major arcana, and this suggests that a new cycle is beginning. This actually goes with, like in numerology, this would be like the 0 in numerology. It's the time when you have to be patient and wait. A new beginning is coming, but it's not here yet. So it's like you've let go of a whole lot of stuff from the past. So it goes 9, 0 and 1. When you get to the 1, it's a new beginning. So something that you're waiting for, and there's not much you can do. You might be dependent on other people, for example, and that's why you can't move forward, because somebody else has to do something. You can't take the action that you would like to do in order to move forward with something. This blue is also about self-expression too. That might also be affected. But, it won't happen overnight. But, yeah, it could happen, sooner than you think, just as you get used to being patient. It could be that the thing happens. It's quite an amazing thing, the Hangman. I could talk about that all day, but I won't. Okay, all right, so a major arcana there. Now, the last card number 5 is alive. I always say that. Number 5 is alive. What do I see? I'm on a horse here. It's a bit like King Arthur's day. It's a lot of mist and fog. Maybe you're not sure of the journey that you're on or the direction in your life. But you are making progress, and King Arthur, he was very special in the sense of, I actually believe he physically existed. A lot of people say it's just a myth and a legend, but I actually believe he did exist. And what he was half Celt or Pictish, half Pictish and half Roman. And so his job was to unify or integrate the intuition and psychic ability and all of the natural instincts of the Picts and the Celts, and also his Roman energy. I think it was his father was Roman, and so I've just forgotten the name. Was it Uther Pendragon? I've just forgotten. And anyway, so that was more the logical thinking things. You know, the Romans were great at building. They did a lot of capital works for their population, and they were very good on hydrology. You know, they had a sewage system, and yeah, they were really quite smart about things, and a lot of logic going on there. Probably not much heart going on, but a lot of logic. So he had to unify the people of England. And interestingly enough, around that time now, they just recently found that something terrible happened. So it was either a comet or a volcano where millions of people died in England at that time. And it was during his lifetime he had to unify the nation. So he had to unify these energies in himself, but also the nation into, you know, instead of just warlords, it had to become a country, you know, so it was like a pretty major thing. The moon, another major arcana. This is very unusual. We have 3 majors this week. So the moon is all about your psychic ability. It's also your subconscious, whatever is going on. Your subconscious is a bit like an iceberg. There's 1/8, well, you know, this is the idea. A certain amount above the surface that we can all see, but it's much bigger underneath. And so the subconscious is actually huge. You know, it runs most of us most of the time. Not all of the time, but a good part of the time. We're being influenced by subconscious forces we don't even realise. The point of that is you learn about yourself and you look within and you look to the divine feminine to learn so that you can teach other people down the track. You see this wolf dog here? That's the teacher. And it will be through experience that you can help others. Okay, so that's pretty major. And there's all your natural talents. It's not a thing to be afraid of because it's all your natural talents and your abilities. And it is also your fears. And sometimes you might feel disillusioned by what you can't come up with. But yeah, life isn't always easy. However, it's important to look within and then you can find those natural gifts as well. Okay, so we've got the Fool, the Hangman, the Moon, 3 major arcana. It's a pretty important week this week for many people. You could find, you know, we're still in January, mid-January, and it's a great time to sit down and work out what you want to do this year and the direction of your life for this year. January sets a template for the rest of the year. So yeah, get some spare time and maybe write it all out in a diary. It's very interesting to go back at the end of the year and see what you've actually achieved. I might do that. That's a note to me. Write down what do I want to achieve this year and then go back. Interestingly, I always get a keyword on the 1st of January for the year. This year it is change. So it's really important that we all become as flexible as possible and not hold on to any sort of ideas or patterns of energy that we find are not working in our lives. Anything that's sort of invalid, let go of it, okay? Alrighty, so that's it, everybody. I hope this is useful for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Leave a like or a comment, that would be fabulous. Share on your socials. I love you forever. Okay, I'm exaggerating. But most important, have a fabulous week, and if you're new, subscribe and be alive. Okay, I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.